Hey guys, my next guest, Anthony Scaramucci Jr. Do you also call yourself the Mooch?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, hey Mooch. Well, we're not here to talk about politics for once, but I do want to talk about your athletic career. You are a lacrosse player, and now you're in college. You're continuing to play. What is it like?
Well, lacrosse is definitely a unique sport. It's kind of like has the speed of basketball, like the intensity of football, whacking each other with sticks. And I also came from a town and like a culture where you're kind of born and these dads hand the kids the lacrosse stick right away and they go out and play. It's a big background on lacrosse in my life. And lacrosse is crazy because in terms of recruiting for college and the NCAA experience, and like kids get recruited like their freshman year of high school. And so I went through that whole process. I know a lot of kids out there, if you're a lacrosse player, going through that as well. And the whole club teams and everything. But it's a lot of fun. I just finish my second year of Division I at Sacred Heart University. Had a pretty solid season. It's actually my last year of lacrosse for now, because I do a lot of creative-based work, and I've decided to spend most of my time focusing on that now.
And since what age have you been playing?
So I actually played pretty late compared to people in my town. So the first time I played was 5th grade, and so it's actually funny because my hometown where I grew up in is like super lacrosse culture, you know, since like day one. They call them Manhasset Indians. That's like our team, and the Indians created lacrosse, Native Americans. And so when I went to boarding school, so when I left the town, I started playing lacrosse when I was 12. And then when I came back for the high school experience, it was just funny coming. Yeah, it was like I left and then came back, you know, for like the lacrosse.
And what position?
I played a long stick midi, so that's all about the toe drags, the finesse, the fun, you know. One thing about lacrosse, which I love, is you can, once you get the ball on your stick, you can have as much fun as you want with it and like, you know, make it look cool. But yeah.
All right, let's talk about your next step. So now you're traveling, you're doing photography.
Yeah.
Why do you like photography? I mean, who doesn't? But why do you like it?
Basically, it all started for me. I always wanted to be a movie director ever since a little kid. I got the same birthday as George Lucas. You know, maybe that's a little inspiration there. Star Wars was like my first love, and I bought a bunch of Legos as a kid. Maybe too many on my dad's credit card, you know. And I used to, I used to make Lego stop motion animations, and that's what kind of like sparked the whole creative, you know, need to create. And so that's frame by frame pictures, put them together into an animation, and that's what got me used to the softwares and stuff to edit. And then as I started seeing things online, 'cause, you know, especially with like younger generation, like these kids are kind of being raised by our phones now, and like got exposed to a lot of other photographers and like videographers that do a lot of cool things, and I just kind of interpreted what they do, made my own style, and like, here, cool if I show you some.
Please.
I got I like a lot about being like, it's definitely important if anyone out here wants to like have a creative career, to find something that's like your niche, you know what I mean, that like, you know, kind of like represents you and your style. And this is like an old school Japanese film camera. So it came out in like the 1960s. The company went bankrupt like right away because back then it wasn't really Instagram to post things. This is kind of like my secret. If you ever look at my Instagram @Mooch, it takes these 3D pictures. So it takes 4 pictures at once on film, a little aesthetic film, develop it, and then once you put the 4 pictures in a loop, it makes this like 3D image. But I got to go around, a big fan of hip hop, did a couple photo shoots for like Juice WRLD, like the Baby, if these guys know who they are, check it out. But I really want to be a director. That's like my main creative outlet. So I've been doing like directing some music videos, you know, some of them have some good views, you know, it's a lot, you know, but yeah, it's all about having fun and like keeping your creative hand hot, you know what I mean? But yeah.
I mean, obviously being on camera, I've worked with, I don't know, 300-400 directors and photographers. Everybody says there is a face. There's a photography face. Like, I want to travel the world and I want to just capture all the amazing images, and with or without Instagram, I want to have those pictures for myself. Do you think this is more like a long-term thing, or do you think this is something just to explore? You know, it's definitely like an outlet of exploring. And I've always wanted to like be an artist, I guess, like been artistic. I love to draw as a kid. And, you know, I view it as definitely like
I guess like an escape in a way, you know, from like everything else. And nowadays everyone has Instagram and like the social medias, and everybody wants a picture or a video. So it definitely helps with me because I get to reach out to some pretty cool people, say, hey, like, would you be down to collaborate, get some cool pictures for your Instagram, some content, and then that's how I kind of build a relationship with these people and make some cool stuff happen. But I think it's a lot about, especially with photography, trying to be a photographer, because it's all about capturing moments.
Yeah.
I think having like relationship with these people, you know what I mean, like allowing to have like a friendship is what makes the better pictures and the better moments.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I can't pose in front of a camera for some photographer I don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, some people could, but I know I can, and most people cannot.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to like the photographer. You trust this person. Oh, he's not gonna, mess up the lights. Stuff
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
Because you want, sometimes people, especially like, the world's crazy. Like the paparazzis go nuts. Like sometimes you don't want people taking pictures of you. You know, you gotta be comfortable. You gotta make sure you look good. You know? Which I can set it up nice. Yeah.
And then do you go to? I mean, you can if you want to. Do you go to like a lot of exotic locations to have fun and take photos?
I could definitely. So where I went, Sacred Heart University is in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut.
And it's just not that bad of a train ride from the city. I found myself a lot. Almost every weekend, leaving school with my cameras, going to the city, because I just feel like being in the city with your cameras is just more creativity, you know what I mean, more photogenic spots. I found myself going to a couple of gardens even, and like doing nature shoots at first with my cameras just to get used to the cameras. But yeah, it's a lot about going out with your camera, you know what I mean? I think that's what like makes you learn like on the fly shooting, which is like what I mostly do when I do photography. But yeah.
What other cities? I mean, New York obviously is a special place for all the photographers. That's why they're there. But what other places in the world do you like?
Recently, I got to go down to Orlando and shoot the Astral World, Travis Scott's tour. My buddy Mo Bamba like hooked it up. Shout out to him.
Hi.
And then if he's watching, and then honestly, I haven't really been able to travel much because of school.
Yeah.
But LA is always a great place too. There's a lot of creative people out there that are always down to like, have that impulse.
What are you studying at Sacred Heart?
So I initially was majoring in computer science because I have like a big passion for video games.
Yeah.
Huge nerd. And I'm nerd and I'm proud. You know, if you're a nerd, be proud.
Yeah,
you know.
be proud.
But yeah. What was the question? I'm sorry.
No, like what are you studying now?
Okay, okay. So I was studying computer science. I was doing coding. And then I started this year, my sophomore year, I switched it to communications and media because I mostly do editing and video work. And that's kind of like where I want to go with everything, you know? And I'm actually taking a gap year now, not playing lacrosse anymore. And I'm working for, Gary Vaynerchuk?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Of course.
So I'm doing,
Gary, yeah.
So I'm on Team Gary V for like a year. I'll be following around with my cameras, doing like editing and stuff for his Instagram. And when he gave me that opportunity, I was down.
He was one of the pioneers for all this. Yeah.
He definitely like understands that like he's not afraid to really put himself out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of people.
It's funny, we never had him on our show. I would love to have him.
Maybe we can set it up. There you go.
Producers.
Gary V, we're coming for you.
You know what? Hook me up.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
Yeah, thanks. And then what else is going on in your life?
Yeah, I really like now that, especially because I decided to make that decision. I'm taking the gap here. I have like a lot of time where I could focus on my creative stuff instead of having to get my homework done or run to lacrosse practice. I could be like, all right, like, what am I creating today, you know? And I really want to really like put all my creative focus mostly into directing and direct some music videos, heavily inspired by like Cole Bennett, if you know who that is, another guy named James Rico, big director, does a lot of music video work. But I did a video for The Baby. He's a rapper. Check him out. He's pretty good. And I'm just trying to, put things on my YouTube now, my Instagram, to kind of brand myself under the Mooch name as artist,
Here's the thing I always want to ask you. Obviously, a lot of people know who your dad is. Mm-hmm. And your dad nowadays is more high profile than ever before.
Yeah.
But obviously, you are yourself. You are not him. And you want to have a life of your own.
Oh, 100%.
Presumably, you don't want to live in your dad's shadow. Mm-hmm. You have your life. You have your goals. You're smart. You're smart.
Thank
how
you.
How do you just be yourself and not get affected by all the crazy things going on in your father's world?
You know, my dad's always kind of been like that in my life. He's always, and like, love my dad, proud of him. Always reminds me, it's a big reminder for like, it's always a good time to be alive in my life, you know what I mean? Always, and you know, like for me, like when I do all my creative work and stuff, and I post it, like a lot of people, they don't even know who my dad is, you know what I mean? They just like enjoy the rap music
your
or
handle, not your handle, your name on Instagram
is Mooch, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
It's a little different though, like, so it's M, and then I make the O's an infinity sign, and then CH, because I want when they interpret my art, I want them to feel timeless, you know what I mean? That's the feeling I want to grant people, which is like the hardest feeling to have. And you know, just take a chill pill, watch the video, nothing else matters for like the minute or whatever. So that's where I like I just like to focus on myself, make my own success story. And you know, because of my dad and who he is, my life has definitely gone at like 100 miles an hour, you know?
Yeah.
And
would you say for the better?
You know, I would definitely say for the better. You know, it's a good life. Yeah,
certain.
I've definitely like a lot of people like look at me for my dad first a lot. You know, which like was like tough being a kid. You know, and I have like a crazy history with like growing up. You know, I had a weird story. Basically, like everyone in my family grew up, went to the public school, but when I was 12 years old, I went to a boarding school for some reason, you know, so it was like a little weird path. But I'm glad, you know, it made me independent, and I'm proud of my dad. He's the freaking man. He's hilarious. You know, he's a big role model in my life. He works his ass off. I'm proud of him. You know, yeah.
Well, obviously everybody is hardworking, and you know the perception of him out there, and not everybody. You know, when you're at that high profile, not everybody's gonna like you. Just like one day you become a really awesome director, you're a really famous director. Not everybody's gonna like your work, but in a way, the criticism also says, "Hey, you sort of made it."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like when A-Rod goes up to bat in Fenway Park, he gets booed. You know what I mean? If a guy's batting like 150 goes up to bat, they don't boo him. So it kind of shows.
It kind of shows you're already there. Okay.
But no, I'm definitely proud of my dad. Love him. Huge role model for me.
And then I want to bring it back to sport, just because you know you play it so early, and I'm sure that part is going to stay with you. Anything you sort of experienced in being a lacrosse player that you think you can just take with you for the rest of your life?
100%. I think the number one thing is keeping a competitive edge to yourself, you know? And like, I know art isn't really a competition, you know, because it's all about being yourself to the fullest, you know, and pushing what you envision and your creativity. So, but the competitive edge that lacrosse taught me is like waking up at 6 a.m., going to the lift, going to practice, showering, and getting to my class within the 15 minutes after lift. Like that, doing that every day for like the past 2 years has definitely like made me realize you can do the most. You know, you can definitely like push the limits, especially when you're young. I don't know if any of you guys like anime and Naruto. As the characters always yells, "Power of the youth, power of the youth." And it's really true, you know what I mean? Power of the youth. You gotta keep going, you know, and you gotta stay young. Doesn't matter, age is just a number. You know, it's like a mindset. Staying young is a mindset.